I welcome you to today's lesson. My name is Paul William Sofori. We have science. Today we have science for basic 5. Science for basic 5. Our topic for today is parts of the respiratory system in humans. Parts of the respiratory system in humans. Okay, so today's topic is about human being. We are going to look at the respiratory system. The respiratory system. I hope by the end of the lesson, you will be so happy to know the things that you should do and things that you shouldn't do if you want to stay healthy. We are looking at the respiratory system. Okay, before we begin, let's look at the key words. We have inhalation. Inhalation. To inhale something means to take in air. Inhalation comes from the word inhale. Inhale means taking in air, breathing in air. The next word is exhalation. Exhalation. So to exhale means to give out air, to get rid of what? Air. So the air that we breathe out, that is what? Carbon dioxide. The air that we breathe in, that is inhale, we breathe in, that is oxygen. And then we exhale carbon dioxide. To exhale means to give out, to breathe out. Breathe in means inhale. So these two words are opposites. One take in air, that is inhalation, and exhalation also brings out air. The next word is respiratory. Respiratory. Respiratory has to do with breathing. Anything that has to do with breathing, we call it what? Respiratory. The next word is breathing. Breathing is something that we do every day. We breathe in, we breathe out. We breathe in air, we breathe out air. The air that we breathe in is oxygen. The air that we breathe out is carbon dioxide. The next word is system. System. So system refers to different parts that are working together to achieve a common goal. So these are the words that we are going to see. Now let me read. The human body is made up of different parts. All the parts work together to enable us to perform our daily activities. Our body is a system made up of different organs. In this lesson, we are going to learn about the organ system responsible for breathing and gas exchange in human, called the respiratory system. So today's lesson is all about the respiratory system. We are saying that our body is made of different parts. It's made of different organs. It's made of different systems. So these systems come together so that we get a complete human body. The system too is made of organs. So today, the system that we are looking at is the respiratory system. The respiratory system helps us to breathe in and help us to breathe out. That is what we should know. The system responsible for us to take in air and give out air, that system is called respiratory system. And this system also helps us, it helps the body to get oxygen. It also helps the body to bring out the gas that is not needed, the air that is not needed, which is carbon dioxide. Okay. Now, there are some questions here. Do you breathe? My question for you, do you breathe? The answer is yes. You can't tell me you don't breathe. What do you breathe in? We breathe in something. What? Yes, it is air. We breathe in air. Okay. What do you also breathe out? The same air? Okay. What part of your body do you use to breathe? Is it our head, our hands, Our eyes, our mouth, or our nose? The nose. Okay. The respiratory system allows us to breathe in, that is to inhale fresh air and supply oxygen to all parts of the body. It also allows us to breathe out or exhale carbon dioxide from the body into the atmosphere. So the air that we breathe in, the air that we breathe out, it is the responsibility of the respiratory system to ensure this thing happens. So when the air goes into the body needs oxygen. So the body will use the oxygen. The carbon dioxide, which is part of the air, the body doesn't need it. So this system, the respiratory system, will ensure that the carbon dioxide, which is the unwanted air, will come out into the atmosphere. Okay. Now, the oxygen that is inhaled helps break down food substances and release energy into in the food to all parts of the body. So when you breathe in the oxygen that the body needs, this oxygen helps break food substances down and also release the energy in the food to what? To the body. So oxygen is very important. Without oxygen, the food particles cannot be broken down and the energy in the food cannot be released to the body. So oxygen is very important. That is why when you are sick, you go to the hospital and they see that your situation is becoming critical, they will just give you oxygen because the body needs it. The body needs oxygen. Okay. So the oxygen is used by the body. The carbon dioxide, which is no more useful to the body, comes out of the body. Okay, so the question is, what is the definition of respiration? Respiration is a process of releasing energy from food, usually using what? Oxygen. So the food that we eat, before the energy can be released into the body, oxygen is needed. The oxygen is used to break this food down and also take the energy in it and give it to the body. So oxygen is very important. Oxygen is very important. If the body can get the energy, oxygen has to be there to make sure the food in the energy in the food are what? Released. Also help the food and break the food down into smaller parts. It helps break the food down and also take the energy in it and give it to the body. Okay, so this is how the respiratory system looks like. But before, let's look at the organs. The organs that form the system. Organs form system. Okay, so the respiratory system is made up of the following parts or organs. The first one is the nose. So I'll ask this question. I'll ask you to write the organs of the respiratory system. Remember that the nose, this one, is one of them. We shall see the functions of all the organs of the respiratory system. So remember that we have this nose. The next one is pharynx. We have larynx. We have trachea or windpipe. We have lungs, diaphragm. Let me take you through again. The respiratory system is made up of different organs. The organs are here. They are more than this, but these are the major ones that we are looking at today. The first one is the nose. We have the pharynx, we have the larynx, we have the trachea or the windpipe, and then we have lungs and diaphragm. Now let's look at the main picture. This is how the respiratory system looks like. You see, the nose or the nasal cavity, we have the nostril, we have the oral cavity, the mouth. We have the pharynx, we have the larynx, we have the trachea, we have here the right main and the left main. Okay, we have the lungs here. This is the lungs. This is the lungs. If you look at it well, this is the left main primary, or this is the left side of the lung. This is the right side. If you look at it from your own point of view or from your perspective, if you look at it, you say this side is the right side. No, this is not the right side. The right side is this. Don't look at it from your angle. Look at it from the position of the person in the picture. So right now, let's say I'm facing you. Where is my left side? This is my left side. This is my right side. But you, your right side is my left side. Your left side is also my right side. So don't look at it from your own perspective. Look at it from the position of the image here. Okay, so if you look at the image here, the left side, the right side is here, and then the left side is here. So these lungs, these are the lungs. So this is the left and the right. So these are the parts or the organs of the respiratory system. The diaphragm is here. So this part is the diaphragm. Okay, so this is how the organs looks like in the respiratory system. Let's look at them once again. Then nasal cavity is here, which is the nose. It has to do with the nose. These are the nostrils or the nostrils. We have them here. We have the oral cavity, that's the mouth. We have the pharynx, we have the larynx, we have the trachea, we have this side, the right lung, and the left lung is also this side. We have the diaphragm. Okay, now let's look at them one after the other and their functions. So we are looking at the organs of the respiratory system and their functions. Okay, so the first one is the nose. The nose has two holes called nostrils through which air enters the body. The air in the nostrils filters or removes dirt from the air we breathe in. So the first one is the nose. You know, we have two holes in our nose. What is the name? It is called nostrils. Nostrils. Now in the nostrils, you can see hair, this thing on our head. You can see some inside our nostrils. What is the work of that? God is so wonderful. He has put hair inside our nose. So in our nostrils we have hair. The hair that we have in our nostrils makes sure that the air that we are breathing in, if they are particles, solid particles, the hair, this one inside, will prevent it, will filter it, will remove it, will not make sure, or will make sure that a particle will not go into the body when we are breathing in. So the nostrils here, the holes that we have, or the nose, the hair that we have in our nose, that hair prevents solid particles and other dust, other things. It prevents them from entering or going into the body when we breathe in. Okay. The next one is the pharynx. It passes air from the nose and mouth to the larynx. It is also called the throat. So where is your throat? Your throat is here. Your throat is here. So when the air passes through the nostrils and the mouth, it will pass here, the pharynx. This called the throat. Okay. So that is where the air will pass before it moves on. Okay. The next one is the larynx. So after the pharynx, it goes to the larynx, this side. Have you seen this? What's the name of this? We call it Adam's apple. This is the part that produces sound. When you are singing, you go to church and the pastor calls you that come and sing. I don't know how to sing. I would have given you one beautiful song, but I don't know how to sing. So you relax for me. I'm going to learn how to sing. I'll come back and sing for you. But let me tell you that if you are good, you know how to sing, the parts of the body that produces sound is the larynx. Okay, let's look at it. It is the voice box where sound is produced. The voice box where sound is produced. The larynx helps us to talk and sing. The Adam's apple lies in this organ. You know, men, we have something here. That's the Adam's apple. It is found in the larynx. In fact, the larynx helps us to talk. Because when we talk, we make what? Sound. We produce sound. When we sing, we produce sound. So this sound is produced in the larynx. Now I'll ask you this: the nose, the pharynx, the larynx. We are going to the next one. Trachea or windpipe. Now, what is the work of this? The trachea or the windpipe. It is a pipe that allows air to pass through to the lungs. It also allows carbon dioxide to pass through into the atmosphere. The trachea contains mucus and hair-like structures called cilia. The cilia traps dust, bacteria, and other harmful particles in the air. So from the mouth to the pharynx to the larynx and then to the trachea, that is the windpipe. And the windpipe, what it does is that it allows air to enter into the lungs. It takes air to the lungs, and the air from the lungs also passes through the windpipe or the trachea and come out. Okay, so inside the trachea there is something called mucus or hair-like structure, which is called cilia. This cilia has something like hair. This one, hair, has something like this. It also sieves or traps the air that we breathe. It traps it to remove dust, bacterial, and other harmful particles. So let's say the air that we have in our nostrils, some waste or some solid particles pass through. They were not able to be trapped by the hair inside our nostrils. So they passed, they went down. You get to this side. Here, it is not easy. There is another check. That place, we have something called cilia. The cilia ensures that all the particles that were not able to be removed by the hair in our nose. Here, when you get here, the cilia will trap you, will make sure you will not move again. So not only dust, bacteria, and any harmful particles that will affect the body, the cilia ensures that those harmful particles are trapped, are prevented from going to the lungs. Okay, now here is the lung or the lungs. This is the main organ of the respiratory system. This organ ensures the body gets oxygen from the air. The blood carries the air or carries the oxygen to all parts of the body. The lungs also ensure that carbon dioxide is removed from the body by breathing out. So here, among all the organs of the respiratory system, the lungs is the most important one. That is where the air that we breathe in, the oxygen, the oxygen the body needs is given to the body. The carbon dioxide the body doesn't need also allows to come out. So here, we breathe in air, the air goes into the body. When it goes into the body, the carbon dioxide in it, the lungs removes them the oxygen that we have, the lungs also give it to the body. Okay. We have this, the diaphragm. It is found below the lungs. It separates the chest from the abdomen. The diaphragm contracts and becomes flat when we breathe in. It relaxes when we breathe out. So this is the diaphragm. This one. This is the diaphragm. So these are the parts of the respiratory system. Before we move on, I want to show you something. So hold on. So let's continue. This is the respiratory system. This is the respiratory system. So if you look at it carefully, the things that we learn, they are here. Okay. So let's identify the parts that we learn. So we saw the nose. So the nose, that's the nasal cavity. This side. So you see, this side, and then we have the oral cavity. We are talking about the mouth. So air passes through the mouth and the nose, but the nose is the main part that the air passes. So if you look at it, after that, we have something here called the pharynx. This is the pharynx, where the throat, this side. We have the pharynx here, and then the larynx. This is the larynx. Let me turn it. Have you seen it? This side. Then this is a trachea. The trachea, which is the windpipe, is also here. Have you seen it? Now we have the lungs. You have the lungs here. So these are the lungs. We have the trachea, the larynx, the pharynx, we have the mouth, we have the nose. The diaphragm is also down here. So these are the parts of the respiratory system. When we breathe through the nose. It comes to the pharynx, the throat. It comes to the larynx, where the voice, the Adam's apple is, where voice is produced. Then it moves to the trachea, this side. And then it comes to the lungs. The lungs are the main organs. These are the lungs. They are the main organs of the respiratory system. This is where the air will come. So the oxygen the body needs, this is where the oxygen is released to the body. The carbon dioxide the body doesn't need. This is where the carbon dioxide is also pushed out. It's also breathed out. So the lungs ensure that the carbon dioxide, which is not needed by the body, goes out. So it will pass through the trachea, go out through the nose, and come to the atmosphere. And here the oxygen which the body needs will also be carried to the blood. So this is how respiratory system is. Respiratory system. If you are drawing, make sure you be able to identify the part for me. The lungs are here. If you are facing it like this, you might think that this is what? The right side, and this is the left side, but that is not the case. Face me, or if I face you, where is my right? My right is here, my left is here. So this side is the left, this side is the right. Okay, so let's come down. And I come down, you see the trachea, the windpipe, it is also here. That is where we can find the cilia. The cilia, I have told you that the cilia has something like hair. It traps dust, bacteria, other harmful particles that will try to enter the lungs. So if you get here, the air will not allow you to go. If you are dust, you'll be trapped here. You will not be allowed to go. If you are bacteria, the area will not allow you to come down. Any harmful particle, if you get here, you will not be allowed to go. If you come here, you worry the body, the lungs. So you see, there is something here called cilia that ensures that particles, waste particles, solid particles, and other harmful particles are not allowed to come to the lungs. Okay, this is the part, the larynx, the part that produces what? Sound. So we talk, we sing. You are able to hear because of the sound. That sound is produced at the larynx. So the larynx what ensures that sounds are produced. We have this, the throat here. So it carries the air to this side, from this side to this side, then comes to what? The lungs. So these are the parts of the respiratory system. I hope if you are asked to give the functions, you'll be able to give the functions. If you are asked to draw, you'll be able to draw. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, so welcome back. We have seen the organs of the respiratory system. They are here. We have seen their functions. Okay, so let's move on to breathing. So what is breathing? We breathe in air, we breathe out air. The air that we breathe in is what? Oxygen. The air that we breathe out is what? Carbon dioxide. So that is breathing. Okay, now let's look at something. Lifestyle that affects the respiratory system. Things that we do that affects our respiratory system. We have seen the respiratory system, the importance of it. Just imagine that your respiratory system is not working, your lungs are not working. What do you think will happen? Will your body get oxygen? That's the issue. If there is what? Carbon dioxide in your body, how will it come out if the lungs are not working? So let's look at things that we do that affect our respiratory system. The first one, smoking cigarettes affect the respiratory system. Look at this. Don't try and do this. It is not helpful. It is not healthy. It will affect you. So those who smoke, please, I know you don't smoke, but when you grow, don't do it because it has effect on your respiratory system. Okay? The next one, breathing in smoke from the burning of waste materials. So look at waste materials. The smoke here, if you breathe in the smoke, you have effects. The next one is that eating too much fatty food. Look at the lady here. Look at the food that she's enjoying. Fatty food. Too much of it is not good. Too much of it. I'm saying it is not good to eat, but too much of it is not good. The next one, failure to exercise the body regularly. So look at the ladies. They are exercising their bodies. So we need to do that. It's good for our respiratory system. If you don't do it, you have issues with your respiratory system. The next one, playing in a dusty or smoky environment. So if you find yourself in a dusty environment or smoky environment, you breathe in dust, you breathe in smoke, they all have effects on your health. So these are lifestyle that's what affect the respiratory system. We have seen 5 of them. If you know you do any of them, stop. Okay. Now, diseases that affect the respiratory system. The respiratory system, there are some diseases that affect it. Just as we have skin diseases that affect only the skin, there are diseases that affect what? The respiratory system. So let's look at them. Lung cancer can be caused by heavy smoking. So those who smoke, you get cancer. Your lungs, you get cancer. Okay, so stop that. Throat cancer can also be caused by smoking. So your throat, your pharynx, you get what? Cancer. Pneumonia affects the respiratory system when the air contains bacteria. So if you breathe in air that contains bacteria, the chances is that you get pneumonia. Asthma is also one of the effects when we breathe in dust, when we breathe in smoke, and other harmful substances. Tuberculosis, TB, tuberculosis also affect the respiratory system. Then whooping cough affect the respiratory system. So look at the diseases. We have whooping cough, tuberculosis, asthma, pneumonia, throat cancer, lung cancer. These are all diseases that affect the respiratory system. So I'll ask you this: 5 diseases that affect the respiratory system. Lung cancer, throat cancer, pneumonia, we have asthma, tuberculosis, whooping cough. These are the diseases. If you don't want to be attacked by these, please, let's do the right thing. We should stay away from things that will cause all these. Now, we are bringing our lesson to a close. We have learned that the respiratory system facilitates gas exchange in the body. Respiration is a process of releasing energy from the food, that is glucose, usually using what? Oxygen. So today's lesson, we have learned about how air goes into the body, how air comes out, the organs that ensure that the air that goes into the body are used by the body, and the air that is not needed again comes out as waste products. I hope you have enjoyed today's lesson. If you have questions, don't worry. Reach out to us, we'll answer your questions for you. But before that, I have questions for you. I have these exercises. So I have exercise 1. Exercise 2 is also here. Exercise 3, exercise 4, then home assignment. Make sure you do all these for me. Tell your friends to watch Kokomoti series. We are on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. Remember that apart from science, we have Asante Tree, Ekuafum Tree. Get copies of these books and read. Thank you. My name is Paul Williams Ofori. Bye-bye.